Good morning. If you want to see how we made this 35-gallon trash can with a removable lid to change the bags. Got flared legs made out of oak and treated wood. Stay tuned, because that's what we're going to do today. Good morning, and welcome to another Memphis Monday 289. Today, I was talking to my buddy, and I said, I'm always looking for a new project, something we've never done before. And he said, well, I got one for you. You've never done this before. I need a wooden trash can made out of wood. I said, sounds perfect. So that's what we're going to do today. And I guess you've already seen the project. I don't know. So let's knock off the chit chat and get to work. Oh, this is a picture of what he has in mind. This is the trash can he uses, and he wants another one. Of course, he told me I could use whatever design I wanted, but this looks pretty good to me. The only change I would make is I would flare out this bottom and make some better legs. Then I came up with the idea of putting a different kind of joint here on, instead of just having mitered joints here. I'm going to try something different. Of course, building boxes isn't new, but this joint, we're going to try to make a joint similar to this. We got a solid block of wood with a dado going in. And I was thinking about scaling this up because we're going to make this is the prototype here. We're going to make the real deal out of 3/4 inch plywood. Well, if you scale this up, this box, this trim right here, would have to be 3 3/4 inches square. Well, that's bigger than a 4x4. But this is the kind of look we're going for. He's going to paint it, have a solid bottom with little legs down here. What we got to do now is let's see if we can adapt this joint for 3/4 inch plywood. I don't know if it can be done. Let's give it a whirl. Well, I was sure if I thought about it a long time, I could figure it out. But there's no way that I can fit this 3/4 inch board. It makes the center in there so thin it might as well not be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these dados in our frame pieces here, and then I'm going to cut a rabbet in my side pieces to slide into that dado. So this might be the answer to the puzzle. We got 2 dados, just like in our prototype, and this big rabbet, this 1/2 inch rabbet that is 3/8 inch deep this way. That leaves me a little gap down there in the bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and put this rabbet on our pieces and we'll be on a roll. Well, here's our setup. This is a dado set with a 2 blades and a chipper in the center, and they're 1/8 each. This is 3/8 inch deep, and this is a 1/2 inch proud here, and that puts the perfect dado in there. Let's give it a whirl. Okay, that's the 18. And glue up's pretty easy. I can just put some glue down in this slot and then move the whole panel into place. Whenever you say something's going to be easy, it never is. I put the bottom on our trash can. I put those 5 holes in there just in case any water gets in there or any dirt or anything, you can clean it out. The next thing we're going to work on are the legs. Here's a drawing of the legs I'm talking about. The green part right here. These will be splayed, and I'm making them out of pretty heavy stock, 1.5 inch thick. Here's the stock I'm going to be making the legs out of. It's 1.5 inch thick, treated, severe weather stock. First thing I need to do when I make these flared legs is to put these 6-degree angles, both going the same way, so that my leg is sloping out 6 degrees. Then, to make these things join in a miter joint, I put my board flat against the saw, we've done this before, and cut my 90-degree angle. And since this board is at an angle, 6 degrees, this cut right here will be a compound cut. So now I'll bring my piece over here. Here's the cut we just made. I bring this over and line it up on my piece. And mark where I want the other side. And the next step is to attach our leg assembly to the bottom using pocket screws. There's our little trash can so far. Turned out pretty good. Now let's work on the top. Whole box done. Now we need to work on the hatch and the trap door there. Done expanded that trap door picture here. It's really going to be the hatch, the big part here with the cowling under it, and then I'll have a trap door up here on top. I've already gotten started. Let's take a look at it. Here's the hatch. It's got oak trim around it. This is oak plywood. And then this is the cowling. That will go down over the trash can. This will fit just like this. See the layup lines, but on here I've drawn in a rectangle. I'm going to cut out of this board with a jigsaw, and then I'll put trim on the inside face of the trap door, and then we'll build the trap door. Now, since I'm going to put trim around the inside of this hole, these lines have to be cut straight and as neat as possible. I put this cleat in here to guide my jigsaw. See if it works. What I'm doing here is putting in the trim. These well, isn't that something? You see what I did? I'm so used to putting that trim on the outside, I just glued the wrong side because this trim's going in this way. I'm going inside, not outside. The cutout didn't go as good as I planned. I stopped filming because it was so embarrassing. I got the thing sanded up, and I can go ahead and put the cowling on now. It's almost drum roll time. Well, let's check out our cowling here. Goes on there like that. And our little trap door will go on there like that. Alrighty, let's work on our trap door. I got the top sanded. Now we need to put hinges on this thing and a little handle. Unless you do this for a living, you're I'm not going to remember all the dimensions and stuff. So if you install hinges like this, well, this is how they work. They come down like this, it's easy close. Pretty easy to install, but I had to look at the directions to get, because you have to get these measurements right or the thing won't work. This first line right here is the center line. This is the center line of the 35 millimeter half-inch deep hole we're going to drill right here. And then this is 3/8 of an inch up. You draw a second line, that lines up your screws when you install the hinge. The hinge is just held on with 3 screws, 2 small ones here, and then 1 into your frame. Okay, I've put 2 lines on here. One is 13/16 inch from the edge, 13/16. And in millimeters, that is 20.5. And then behind that, 3/8 of an inch behind it, that's 9.5 millimeters. Right back here is the second line. Now I need to drill a hole that's 35 millimeters in diameter with this Forstner bit, centered on that line, that first line right there. Here you can see what I'm talking about. There's the first line right there, and that is the center of the 35 millimeter hole I'll be drilling. And then the second line, it's 3/8 of an inch above it. Use that to line up the screws. So now I just line these, put these in these little holes we made. They just fit. And line these holes up with that 3/8 hole we made. And I'll pre-drill some, holes to put them in. Put these in with the smaller screws. And then the frame portion goes in with these longer screws. There's only 1 for each one. And all these other screws are for adjustment. That does it for Memphis Monday 289. We built this 35-gallon trash can. We've got drain holes in the bottom. I made it out of oak and treated deck wood, and it's not going to be in the weather. Got a trap door, a cargo lid, take off and change the bags. Hidden hinges, flared legs. Pretty satisfied. Well, that does it for Memphis Monday 289. Today we had a new kind of project. Never built a trash can before. We had a new joint. I think that's just, I've seen that before. I didn't invent it, that joint. But I remember seeing it, but I don't remember where. It's a mortise and tenon joint is what it is. And You know, usually it's between two shorter boards, but I've seen it used for plywood before. Usually it's 1/8 inch plywood or 1/4 inch plywood into a 1/4 inch mortise. But we had to put a rabbet in there to get that plywood in. But it made a pretty strong, good joint. So pretty happy about that. We made flared legs for it. We put treated wood and exterior plywood in critical places, and we did a lot of things, just a trash can, but I think it turned out pretty nice. All right, so like and favorite, share, comment, and all the stuff you do on the internet. Try to get that algorithm they keep talking about. Try to get that thing fired up. And can't think of anything else. Yep, I remember. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.